This session is brought to you by the color yellow and the letter P. Did you know that the color yellow can uplift your spirits? Yellow represents happiness, optimism, cheer, enthusiasm, extroversion, as well as fun. But in times like this, when it's so challenging as well as so uncertain, it's hard to feel happiness or even optimistic. You might be feeling a little bit fearful or having certain amount of anxiety, which is extremely normal. Hi, I'm Nicole, and today I'd like to share with you the 4 P's in building optimism, especially in difficult times like this. In my mid-30s up to my 40s, I went through an extremely challenging time in my life. A lot of people looked at me and thought I was extremely successful with the business that I was running. But what they did not know was that I was going through a difficult relationship with my husband, and we ended up in divorce when my children were pretty young. At that same time, my parents, being elderly, were also quite sickly, and I needed to look after them, manage my children, as well as my business. So I found myself extremely stretched, going through all the different challenges and really suppressing the way I was feeling and only trying to focus on doing the work that I needed to get done. Now, when I hit my 40s, I went through a health scare. At that point, I started to lose a lot of weight, I was falling sick all the time, and my hair started to fall out in clumps. Now, I went through a lot of tests and the doctors really could not figure out what was wrong with me. At that point, I started to fall into depression as I really did not know how to find a way out of it. So I locked myself up into a room. I did not want to meet people, I did not do any more business, and it was really just in a very dark place. I remember after about 2 months, my sons came to me and they asked me, "Mom, do you believe in God? Because you've always told us to have faith, that everything happens for a reason, that everything is a blessing and everything is a gift." And that was such a wake-up call for me. So today I'd like to share with you the 4 P's. So the first P is about being present in the moment. Many of us tend to find ourselves living in the past with a lot of regrets about what happened, or worrying or being anxious about the future. So it is so important for us to learn to slow down and breathe. The more we do deep breathing, we bring ourselves back to the present moment and we notice what's going on around us. So this is where we need to learn to be thankful for what we have in our life. And that brings us to the next P, which is about being positive. To be able to focus on what is going on well and what is good in your life. It may not be easy to do, especially when things all seem to be the same and there seems to be no way out. But are you able to look at the old with new lenses, to notice the good in the bad? So focus on the positives. When we're able to do that, we find ourselves in the next P, which is about possibilities. Remember, when one door closes, another one definitely opens. There's always opportunities, you just need to look and find them. Remember that no matter how difficult the challenge seems, there's always a way to solve it. That brings us into the next P, which is about perspective. Really, what are you saying to yourself? So first thing we need to do is to be able to accept the fear and anxiety and recognize that it's okay to feel this way. And then at that point for myself, I had to remember that yes, this is a challenge, but there's definitely a way out of it. I definitely could do it. Why? Because I deserve happiness and I deserve success. So with that change in perspective, it helped me bring myself out of that depression, as well as to be able to move myself forward to where I am today. So again, remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you're feeling down, when you're going through a challenge, think about these 4 P's. And the first one is be present. The second one is, remember, focus on the positives. The third P is about possibilities. There's always opportunities out there. And the fourth P is about perspective. What kind of lenses are you looking at the world with? Remember, happiness is within us. You don't need to look outside for it, and you don't need to turn to others for happiness. You have the power within you. I hope you've learned something from this session, so the next time you go through a challenge or face a crisis, think about the 4 P's so that you can build your optimism or find that happiness within you. So till we meet again, my friends, for another Moments with Marion.